So today's subject is about why we get triggered and using my own personal experience today, because I lost it completely and utterly lost it. So before I go into that, if you've not met me before, I am Mel. Hello, and I am a rapid transformational therapist, and I help women overcome any kind of disordered eating by helping them find the root cause of their destructive eating behaviours using hypnosis so that they can start truly loving themselves to recovery for good. So in today's video, I want to share with you something that happened today that triggered me big time. So it was my husband. We were both in the kitchen, and I was trying to explain something, and he came up with the most triggering phrase: make an effort. And I know to everyone, like, it seems so trivial, make an effort, but for some reason I completely got triggered with that phrase. And as you know, if you are someone who gets triggered, it only takes one little thing and you feel like your whole world is about to explode. I suddenly lost it, but because I've had the healing done and I've had my RTT done on myself, I didn't have the usual meltdown like I would have done in the past. In this same situation, what I would have done is probably shouted, like really completely lost it, or I would have slammed the washing up stuff into the into the sink. I may have threw things at him, or I may have smashed some plates, or I may have slammed myself in the bedroom, slammed doors, or I may have even walked out. This is how angry I used to get in the past when I used to get triggered. So I'm not like, I didn't react like that because of the fact that I have been healed through rapid transformational therapy, which helps you heal from childhood wounds. But I was still mad, like my heart was still palpitating, like, you know, it felt really tight in my chest. I still wanted to burst out my skin. I felt so incredibly angry at my husband, but I didn't explode because of that inner healing I've had done. But instead, I did try to justify myself. But I was already in that childhood motion of justifying myself. And I'll explain a little bit more about what I mean about justifying. So I just get on with the story because otherwise I'll make this video too long. So about 10 to 15 minutes later, when I realized my justification wasn't working, I decided to go somewhere to calm down. So I just basically went into the bedroom, and I was in a hump though, I have to say. I just like walked into the bedroom, shut the door, and I sat down and I did some breathing exercises, you know, the ones that I've showed you, like with the nostril thing. And it didn't take very long. I just got down, I got a notepad and I wrote down what I felt. And this is what came up. I wrote down, I felt angry because I felt frustrated. I felt angry because I was not being heard. I felt frustrated and angry because my husband did not get what I was trying to say. Then, just like that, I had the most incredible aha moment. Why did I feel like I needed to talk for 20 minutes to try and justify myself? Then I realized this was actually a typical behavior of mine, especially when I'm feeling triggered. In fact, many people have said to me in the past that I used to talk too much, and I never really got it until I was healed. And I used to talk and talk and talk, trying to justify myself, even more when people looked completely bored. It was like the more that they switched off, the more that I felt like I needed to talk to them, like I was desperately trying to get their attention, as if I was going to talk them into listening or understanding me. But instead, I just annoyed the hell out of everybody. And I didn't see that at the time. So the question is, why did I feel like I needed to justify myself? And this is where the aha moment hit me again today. I remember clearly in my memories as a child being reprimanded for something that I had no idea what I'd actually done. I even remembered crying and denying about whatever had happened, and I was told off even more about denying it. Like, whilst I was writing down, I can remember these words like, don't do that, you shouldn't do that, Why did you do that? But when you're a child, and sometimes and I remembered, and I don't really want to go into details, but I remember significant times when I was really told off and I really did not have a clue the reasons why I was being told off. So instead of, like, my parents at the time explaining to me what I'd done wrong, or understanding that maybe I didn't do what they thought I did, I was reprimanded even more and was told to stop lying. I don't know if any of this kind of, resonates with any of you. So how does this link to why I was triggered? When my husband triggered me today, it was like I was reacting like that child again. I was enraged because I was frustrated and hurt. So when he said, make an effort, I didn't know what he meant. How was I supposed to make an effort if I genuinely didn't know what to make an effort on? And without going into too much detail, it was basically because I made a grammatical mistake today. But because my husband didn't explain or acknowledge what he meant, I reacted, leaving me feeling frustrated and angry and not feeling enough. In fact, having a bilingual husband who's French, who doesn't have the same mother's tongue as I do, has driven me insane in the past because of our countless misunderstandings. I even almost left him a few years ago because he was continuously triggering me. But what I failed to recognize before I healed myself through RTT, or rapid transformational therapy, that I was actually reacting to childhood wounds, which he kept triggering because of our cultural differences. You see, English is not my husband's first language, and also he hasn't got the same cultural empathy as an English person. I don't know if you guys know any French people, but they're pretty blunt, straight to the point. They haven't got the finesse. Like, the movies lie. French people are just so straight in your face. Don't cotton it up. They're like really direct. And this used to bug me when we first met each other. It's a really miracle that we ended up staying together for so long. But French people have different beliefs. I eventually found out their behaviours and things like that. And sometimes they can come across really, really abrupt when you try to translate that into English. So when he triggered me, my husband triggered me, it wasn't him intentionally trying to hurt me or disempower me or belittle me. He just wanted to make me aware of my mistakes so that I would learn for the next time. His cultural difference in expressing himself lacked the gentleness that I'm used to in the English language. So as a result, he triggered me big time. So once my old childhood wounds were triggered, it was very difficult for me to see past them. It was only until I removed myself from the situation and took time out to write my feelings down that I realized that I was triggered by my old childhood experiences. And boy, when you take the time out to write down your feelings, just like me, it really made so much sense why I would overreact over that silly little sentence. Make an effort. So even though I didn't lose it like the old me would have done, like, if you've only just joined me now, I would have probably smashed the whole place up. I would have slammed doors. I would have screamed, and I probably would have walked out. Instead, I was able to, because now I've had my healing, I was able to walk away and look at things rationally. So I was able to stop myself exploding and able to calm down in my own time. Knowing that has really changed the way that I react now. So also part of my healing, one of the things that I probably would have done when I was triggered is I would have gone to that old default of binge eating, or I would have got drunk, or I would have smoked or got high, or, like I said, smashed the place out. But even though now that I experience those same anger, I'm able to self-regulate now. And that's basically what I wanted to share with you today. How that triggering cycle affects you now. So one silly little phrase like that, and how I was able to analyze that whole thing to come to the conclusion, is because those are really deep wounds. So instead of me defaulting back to those self-destructive behaviours where you'll probably recognise yourself defaulting to, like the binge, or to get drunk, or to get smashed up, or to even hit someone, you know, it's because of those old childhood triggers. Anyway, you'll be pleased to know that I did apologise to my husband afterwards, and I even thanked him for giving me the inspiration to do this video. But I did say to him, you know, try to be gentle with me next time and try to educate me without talking to me like a child. Yes, so there was like a happy ending to this story. So I wanted to share that little video with you, and I hope that my little story has given you some food for thought, pardon the pun, on how triggers kind of develop, and also to give you some insight and understanding with that phrase that goes around. You probably have heard of it and you're like thinking, what the hell, what is that phrase talking about? And I think I posted it up on my Facebook page before, but now this completely makes sense to me. That phrase, no one or anything can ever trigger something that wasn't there to be triggered in the first place. So on that thought, I want to leave you with that thought and how this relates to maybe the triggers in your life. Remember that phrase. I think you can look it up on Google and try to make that daisy chain. And when you start understanding why we get triggered, is then that's when you can have more control in your life, because you'll be able to react in a more rational way. So thank you for watching, and if you've only just joined me, hello, and thank you for watching. I help women overcome eating disorders or any kind of destructive behaviours using rapid transformational therapies, so that we can find the root cause of what is stopping them from full recovery. And once we remove the root cause, then recovery is a lot faster. So anyway, I hope this video has helped you get some insights. So until the next time, I hope you stay strong, and big love and big kisses.